It's all very clear to me now. The whole thing. It's wonderful.
Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking dangerous. Look at this guy. He's got respect for the door. There's 4 million people coming in.
What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is wrong.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
What I care about is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Hello, it is me, head of the WHO, Tedros Ghebreyesus. I am here with a special announcement, although Brain Chip is making possibly my accent a bit weird. When I started out as Marxist revolutionary in Ethiopia, covering up cases of cholera for the revolutionary government, I could not have dreamed that one day I would be head of the World Health Organization, helping to bring global Marxism to the entire world. It has been a long and tiring job, but now, with the advent and agreement of the final pandemic treaty, we are now ready to impose Marxism across the entire world, with the exception of the United States, but we are working on that. This Marxism will be for everyone. We have expanded the definition of health to include such things as the climate crisis, racism, guns, knives, pollution, anything really. If you like to smoke, if you like to drink, if you like to shoot guns, if you like to be free, then you are very much impinging upon global health. This is part of the plan, and of course the second part is to spin up as many organizations as possible to intersperse between our definition of health in the widest possible context and you, the pleb, who will be toiling under the yoke of global Marxism in order to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, fairness, social justice, and all the other great buzzwords. Of course, all of the people that you love, such as Ursula von der Leyen and co-opted governments around the world who stand to make a buttload of money from rich countries giving money for pandemic preparedness, are very happy to see this agreement finalized. We did not ask any of you, despite the incredible impact that this will have upon your lives, because quite frankly, we do not care. Your place is to obey, our place is to rule. Your place is to suffer, our place is to command. So thank you very much. I hope you will be enjoying the outcome of the new World Health Organization pandemic agreement. Oh, and happy Easter until we outlaw Christianity. Thank you very much. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Easter. Hope you all had a lovely Easter holiday. Christos Anesti and all of that to any of the Christians watching. I hope you guys went to church. Thank you very much to Tedros Ghebreyesus, head of the WHO, for that incredible announcement. I don't know what's up with my my accent translation chip. Seems to be a bit wonky. But you know, the content of his message was crystal clear. We can now look forward to a new glorious global Marxism just in time for 2030. I'm very excited, bros. I'm so excited. I just can't wait, because one of the things about life that really annoys me is I've got, too much freedom, right? Even in the UK, which of course is at the forefront of the restriction of freedom, I still feel like not enough of my decisions are taken by the government, right? I get up in the morning, I lie awake at night, and I'm just like, oh my God, these decisions, what if the government could just make all of the decisions for me? Well, fear not, good citizen, if you are feeling like me. Soon all of these decisions will be taken by the government. You will be free to sit on your ass and consume the appropriate media. Get a bit of slop up here. It'll be lovely, right? You will be part of the global health Nexus. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. The pandemic treaty, of course, has been, sort of flopping around like a live grenade for a while. But since, sort of COVID basically ended, they've still been working on it, obviously, right? And they haven't sort of, taken any of the feedback of all the horrible stuff that actually happened under COVID, because, of course, that was the whole point. And, in stunning news, the final draft of the pandemic agreement has been finalized. We will be covering that on the show tonight. I hope you're all looking forward to it. Tonight, we also have, in a Easter miracle, I probably shouldn't say that, Pope Francis is dead. The man who, he didn't sort of do Vatican II, but he was very, very much part of the progressive wing of the Catholic Church, basically on the verge of sort of causing an actual schism inside the Catholic Church from those horrible racists and reactionaries who don't want women priests and don't want gays in the clergy and stuff. Now, to be fair, Pope Francis had not necessarily backed exactly those measures, but I'm pretty sure that he would if he could have. He is now dead, so the race is on to find the new Pope. I personally hope that the new Pope is black or perhaps Asian, right? It'll be an excellent first, right? Of course, the real sort of conflict is between the progressive and conservative parts of the Catholic Church. Will the Catholic Church get even more gay, or will it rediscover its muscular foundations? We will wait and see. Are we bringing you the news on the conclave? Secondly, the trannies are back. Of course they are. It's summer, right? And because it's summer, it's time for another season of idiots demonstrating about idiotic stuff. And the idiotic stuff of the moment is all of the trans demonstrating against the UK Supreme Court decision, which defines sex as in the Equalities Act as actually meaning biological sex. This is, by the way, is in contrary to the way it was designed to be framed. It was designed to be framed in this sort of woolly way, but this has caused too many problems, probably because of digital ID. So the Supreme Court has passed it down, and the trannies are angry. They're angry. They're out in London defacing statues and generally, look, you've seen it a million times before, but we'll be seeing it again. I had to watch it, so you have to watch it. That's how it works. And finally, the pandemic treaty. So yeah, that's everything tonight. I hope you enjoy. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat on Rumble. Steady Sapiente, Fox39 Forever. Hello, Fox. Sorry we couldn't make it to your thing. J Chiva Loophole, Yiz the Eunuch. I will be on Discord and Dragons tonight. Who's on tonight? Yiz, I know Clossington's on, a few other people. Livia Drusilla, great to see you, Livia. I know Captain Crisp is in here somewhere. Wyatt's Torch, good to see you, mate. I think that is everybody on Rumble. And on YouTube, we have Ardent Party Hardy, Robert Verlinden, Cyber Chud Internal Affairs. Good to see you, Sir Chud. How you doing? Happy Easter, mate. Who else we got? Simon JJ, great to see you as well, mate. Anybody else? Stumbling, good to see you, mate. I think that's every. Oh, and Ratfun King and LLLLLL. Your username is very hard to pronounce, Mr. L. I should just call you L squared or something to make it easier to say. And on Odyssey we have no one, just the lurkers. Well, hello to all the lurkers out there. I know people who are watching but don't want to participate in the chat. I know you're out there. Years Unique, we better not have a cringe section. Yeah, well, we will. Look, I don't make the rules, right? The format is set in stone, right? Don't close your eyes to the cringe. This is the world we live in. I'm sorry. Yes, this will be quite a cringy episode. Today's meme. I'm not in a good place right now. Are you in Great Britain? Oh, mate, the Americans are memeing on the UK so fucking hard at the moment. Yiz is going to lead a chat, right? Oh, please do. It will help my metrics. Give me some more engagement. Right. Anyway, let's get going. Let's start off with the news. So our first story: Pope Francis, the groundbreaking Jesuit pontiff. Why have you got a Jesuit as Pope? Just saying, right? Why don't you just put someone in the black nobility in, right? It's God, it's all the conspiracy theory coming true, mate. It's the Jesuit pontiff dies aged 88. He dies aged 88 on 420 bros. Is that a sign? Is that a sign? My God. The death of the 266th Pope. My God, that's a lot of popes, mate. Triggers a period of global mourning. And Vatican conclave of cardinals to elect the successor. Pope Francis, the pontiff revered by millions of Catholics, yeah, but also highly disliked by other millions of Catholics, right? The way they pretend like there's not an imminent schism in the Catholic Church, right? Like, oh, it's fine, right? At 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned to the home of the Father. His entire life was dedicated to the service of the Lord and of his church. Well, that's one way of saying it. Livy Drusilla, TDS Maniacs, are saying that Vance killed the Pope. Mate, Vance probably rocked in there with his spicy opinions, and the Pope was like, Mamma mia, somebody dared to say the words to me that we shouldn't have a mass immigration. I am a morte. That's probably definitely what happened. Indeed, Vance was one of the last people to see the Pope alive. Conspiracy theory confirmed, bros. Vance is, in fact, an MK Ultra killer. My God. Could this be the real reason? The official declaration of the Pope's death is expected on Monday evening. When his body will be placed in a coffin, the cause of death is likely to be discussed. I can tell you his cause of death. His lungs gave out. So the Pope has not been a well man for quite a while. He already had half of a lung removed when he was in his youth, and he recently recovered from double pneumonia. I think I covered it like about a month ago. He got like systemic edema, which is like where your whole body like basically swells up with fluid retention. Very, very bad. Clearly on the way out. God has called him home. You know what I mean, right? What St. Peter will say to him at the pearly gates, that's not for us to know, I guess, right? Funeral will be followed by 9 days of official mourning. Cardinals are meeting tomorrow. So the funeral is going to be like a huge deal, right? This story has a few legs. Yeah, he almost certainly died of respiratory failure. You can get precisely. He did appear at St. Peter's Square for the Easter Mass, but he was not a well man. Not at all.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buona Pasqua. Benedicat vos, omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
So, yeah, the Pope is not well. Says Fox, there isn't a schism exactly, just a lot of moaning from deplorables like me. Well, not being a Catholic, I might not be exactly the expert voice in this, Fox. If you would care to give us a bit more detail. My understanding was that the sort of conservative wing of the church was extremely disgruntled with the upshot of Vatican II, which, to be fair, stretches back to the 70s, and they were getting a little bit rowdy. And then there was that cardinal that was excommunicated for basically talking about Jeffrey Epstein. We'll be talking about him as well. So all of the leaders around the world were like, "Oh my God, it's terrible." The conclave is coming up. The black smoke and the white smoke, very racist, if you ask me. We will see where this goes. As to who will be the next pope, the new pope, well, that's the real question. predicting who will be chosen as the next pope is notoriously fraught with difficulties. Yes, papal conclaves are famously fraught with intrigue and infighting and all kinds of like other stuff. The world's attention now returns to who will replace him. Technically, any Catholic male could be made pope in the same way that technically any male could become the Prime Minister of America. But in practice, however, it's a bit more complicated than that. It will be likely drawn from the cardinals who will gather together in the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican for the secret papal election known as the conclave, right? This is very, very... who's the guy who wrote the Da Vinci Code? Dan Brown. Yeah, this is very, very Dan Brown. I hear that they have like a secret black stone, and they contact the aliens, and it is in fact the aliens that pick the next pope. That's why he's got the funny hat, right? Look, you can't argue. It just makes perfect sense, right? After Pope Benedict stepped down, hardly anyone predicted that Jorge Mario Bergoglio from Argentina would be elected as Pope Francis. Although, if you were a keen watcher of world Marxism, you might have been able to like make a decent guess about this, right? So here are the current frontrunners for new pope. Better flavor than the old pope. Peter Erdo, a Hungarian cardinal. He is a conservative, so obviously the Marxists will not be happy about that. Proficient in church law, Vatican expert, and author of The Next Pope. Many Catholics feel that the church needs to be brought back from a sense of ecclesiastical lawlessness that evolved under Francis. Erdo would be a safe pair of hands. Yeah, indeed, right? And look, I really hope the Catholic Church tacks back towards more conservative values, because, you know, like particularly Francis's like stance on immigration is like, oh, you know, right? By the way, right? I mean, you know, is the Vatican taking people in? No, of course they're not, right? Francis notably actually flew Muslim migrants like back into Italy on his private plane. Not back into the Vatican, of course, right? Like the Vatican doesn't get to have like infinity migrants. No, of course not. But the rest of Italy does, of course, right? So Luis Antonio Tagle, he is the liberal candidate, dubbed the Asian Francis from the Philippines. He would be the first Asian pope. Oh, wow, the first Asian pope. I can't wait till we have the first black pope, and then the first alien pope, and the first disabled pope. You know, the first Muslim pope. You know, that's definitely going to be like a massive first. Oh my God, right? I hate the way all of these old institutions are just like, oh, it's the first thing. Yeah, you realize that's a bad thing, right? You're just like fucking with tradition. Whatever. So, you know, he's very into poverty. He's a strong contender and still relatively young. So presumably if he gets in, the Marxists will have like another, 40 years to destroy the Catholic Church from within. Pietro Parolin, the current Secretary of State for the Vatican, in effect its Prime Minister, is also considered to be a leading candidate. He's basically a diplomat, interestingly. However, he was involved in a property scandal where the Vatican bought Harrods in London. So, I don't know. So he's handy with money in the Vatican Bank. So he presumably would be the sort of Vatican Bank candidate, I guess. And then other candidates from the liberal wing of the church is Cardinal Jose Tolencio Calaca de Mendonça, who comes from Madeira, and was appointed by Pope Francis as the head of a department for culture and education. Definitely a Marxist then, right? The Archbishop of Bologna, Matteo Zuppi, is another Italian in the mix, a progressive who is regarded as having been close to Pope Francis. There's also a cardinal from Malta, Cardinal Mario Gresh, probably a good pick. The Maltese are quite based. He's a conservative at heart. But of course, what we really need is Cardinal Peter Turkson from Ghana. We have to have a black pope, dude, right? It's absolutely clear that we have to have a black pope. It'd be the first black African pope in history, bros. So progressive. So progressive. One of the cardinals that will not be eligible to run is Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, who was excommunicated by Pope Francis after daring to publicly reject the Pope's authority and denounce the direction of the modern church. Yeah, he said a few of the bad words, bros. Check this out.
A few weeks ago, an important collaborator of Hillary Clinton and John Podesta was arrested for pedophilia and child pornography. I'm referring to Slade Summer, a man with ties to the world of Broadway and cinema, who played a role in the effort to debunk the infamous Pizzagate affair. That is, the network, filthy complicity and horrendous crimes against minors that revolves around the international deep state. We have learned that certainly Jeffrey Epstein and most likely Ghislaine Maxwell were members of the Israeli Mossad. This makes us understand that the famous trips of many well-known people to Epstein Island were used to blackmail them by collecting evidence of their guilt in participating in heinous ritual crimes against minors. And if the heads of state and governance officials of the Western world do not dare to breathe out a word of protest against the massacres of civilians in Gaza Strip, it is legitimate to assume that this attitude is due to the intensive dossier with videos inculpating them that are in possession of the Israeli intelligence services. The same thing must be happening with the preparation of the fake pandemic emergency, which was lavishly replicated in all the member states of the World Economic Forum and the United Nations, and also with the farce of the Ukrainian crisis. But this blackmail of the powerful of the world constitutes the unifying.
Yeah, so I imagine he'll be voted in any day now. It's the QAnon, the Pope and on. Now, of course, there's been a lot of stuff about Vatican II. Not a Catholic, but it does sound like they really, really, really changed Catholicism. I have heard a lot of Catholics complain about Vatican II. And how it basically changed doctrine. So, well, I guess we'll see. There you go. Now, our second story. Trannies be trannying. What's the respectful way to say that? The trans community is up in arms. Like other communities, they deserve not only respect, but the right to call the police upon you for speech crimes and any other stuff that they want. They must be protected and given rights far in excess of that of the ordinary citizen. Yes, so the Supreme Court backed the biological definition of woman. So it turns out that the Equalities Act 2010, one of the worst pieces of legislation ever basically done in the UK, and it's a crowded field, has been BTFO'd by a campaign group for Women Scotland, basically saying they did not want trans men in their bathrooms and rape crisis centres. Obviously a bunch of fascists, I guess, right? Whatever, right? Now, of course, they're not going to take this lying down. Doesn't matter whether the Supreme Court has judged it. You know how this works, right? If it's anything that influences their political opponent, then they're like, oh, it's international law. It's the Supreme Court. And the law must be upheld. When it's anything that prejudices their position, suddenly the law is not so important, bros. Oh yes, and I need to plug. Please send some monies to me via Entropy. Support the show. It's bloody expensive living in London. Would very, very much appreciate some super chats.
We need Earth monies to appear as normal Earth pigs. Mini Moose, how much have we earned?
Thank you very much. Right. So, there are already MPs from the government trying to undermine this decision. The way this will work, basically, is that even though the Supreme Court has ruled, the actual interpretation has to be decided by the Equality and Human Rights Commission, the EHRC, not the ECHR, right? Like, I swear they name these things just to make it confusing. But the Council on Human Rights, which is the one that basically defines all the thing. Texas man, good to see ya, buddy. How you doing? So the government has said that it welcomed Wednesday's ruling, but Starmer has not made any statement because, of course, it may negatively influence the trans community, right? So we're gonna see how this works. My guess is that this will be basically watered down, and that all the little NGOs and organs of government will conspire to undermine this ruling. But that's not enough, of course, because it's summer. Thousands protest for trans rights. What rights do they not have? Indeed, arguably they've got more rights than the average citizen. It's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Thousands gathered in central London on Saturday to rally against the UK Supreme Court ruling that when the Equality Act 2010 referred to women, it referred only to biological sex and did not include transgender women who hold a gender recognition certificate. It says on paper that I'm a woman. Yeah, right. Like, well, it says on paper that I'm the fucking King of England. Doesn't make it so, does it? With unease growing over what the ruling means for the rights of transgender people, protesters came together for what was billed as an emergency demonstration in Parliament Square. This was pretty big. I've been to a lot of protests at Parliament Square, and they did manage to, come out. And of course, the way that they did is the way that left always do it. They get all the socialists and the trade unionists and the pro-Palestine people together for like one cause, because basically asserting reality is fascism, like literally, right? Let's have it.
Trans people simply just want to go about their lives and live and exist, and that is their right. There's such a tiny proportion of the population today that it's extraordinary that we've let this culture war develop to the point where that we vilify, that they're allowed to be vilified.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, right? Maybe if you didn't deny biological reality and then try and use the coercive power of the state to destroy anyone who didn't believe, people wouldn't be so pissed off about it. I'm just saying.
A lot of us were very scared. It's a terrifying time to have your rights taken away from you. I was disappointed to think that we could...
What rights? Your right to use the female bathroom? Your right to be in a female rape crisis center? Like, oh, fucking hell, man. This is the tyranny of human rights. Where rights just expand to become whatever we say, right? Like soon it'll be like, not letting me being able to steal all of your shit infringes on my human rights. What about my right? Yeah, well, you're not human, are you? You're a fascist. So,
live in a society that seems so progressive now, but is willing to make such a dangerous and harmful ruling.
Oh, do we live in a society, do we? Never heard that one before. It's so progressive. Why wouldn't anyone be happy with how progressive everything is? So you want to see some retards? Of course you do. Of course you do. Oh, mate. the retardation is so strong.
Click ignore! Click ignore!
Now, just note what I was saying before. If you look at this sign on the left, this is from the Socialist Worker, right? Socialist Worker is well known. If you've ever seen any protests, any lefty protests in London, they make the signs. They use all the same sign printers, right? So whether it's Socialist Worker or Stand Up to Racism or lefty fuckbags for a destroying society, they always have exactly the same signs, and they print them by the bucket load, right? If you go to these protests before they start, you can see the cars will pull up. They'll have these huge like pallets of like signs bound together, and they'll just start giving them out because that's what organic protest looks like, bros.
Use your ignore button.
Sadi Sapiente, I don't want to see these retards. Oh, no, we have not even begun to see the proper retards yet. Let's see. More.
Thank you so much. So, I am here as the co-chair of the Trans and Non-Binary Network of the NEU. I'm here as a teacher, I'm here as an activist, but I want to speak to you as a teacher. I teach in an alternative provision where most of our students are trans and non-binary. To be clear, I did not make them trans. The school was like that when I got there.
Yeah, I mean, I just, sort of am the representative of a body of ideology that affirms and encourages this stuff. I didn't make them trans. I just look, I didn't plant the mushrooms, right? I just allow a nice dark space for them to grow uninterrupted, bro.
However, they come to us not because of some inherent flaw, but because they are kicked out of the mainstream education system. Their gender expression is seen as a dismissal of...
Okay, how? Right? Isn't that like double plus illegal now? Show me where they're being kicked out of the education system. Surely somebody would sue. I highly doubt this.
Behaviour policy. Their self-advocacy is seen as defiance. Their identity as seen as something worth anguish, not pride. However, we sit there, we work with them, we do our best to work through that trauma and show them that learning does not need to be an act of silencing if it is done properly.
Oh God, it's so gay. It's literally the intersection of fake and gay. We have a super chat. Texas man. So I'll give it a confetti and a dancing sausage. Why are these people so angry and ugly? I mean, that's I could do like a whole show on that, but basically bio-Leninism. It's I don't know, mate. There should be a rule, right? That like you can only be trans if you're like a really sort of like hot twink under the age of like 25, right? Like that should be the rule, right? Like once you get over that, and you're gonna look like a middle-aged man in a dress or something like that, right? Like that should be like absolutely not allowed. Fight me. Oh. Wait, I've got stickers on top of stickers. Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Texas man. I appreciate the super chat. What else have we got? What's this?
A year on from Hillary Cass's brutal attack on trans youth, the British state continues to ramp up its tactics. First with the Labour Party permanently banning new prescriptions for puberty blockers for under 18s.
Oh no! How terrible! How terrible! They're banning puberty blockers, literally for minors. Like, my God, they do terrible, terrible things to kids. Oh, it's fine. Oh, we got another super chat. $3 from Yiz the Eunuch. Let's see. Where's 2 more weeks. And a dancing Trump. Everyone involved with trans rights needs the Emperor's mercy. Suffer not the mutant. Nice. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, much appreciated. Oh my God, yeah, this is just the most bio-Leninist thing I've ever fucking seen.
In December, shame! And now, removing trans women's legal right to define themselves as women. Shame! sexuality. We oppose all discrimination. We oppose all discrimination on the basis of gender, sex, or sexuality.
But not discrimination based on political ideology. You will notice, right? Oh no, we can absolutely discriminate against people if they don't follow our political ideology. We love that. Another super chat from Stumbling. Ironically, Troon is the name of a town in Scotland. Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much for the super chat, Stumbling. Tally McDollarson, thanks you very much. You notice how the communism just becomes sort of more and more obvious the longer this goes on, right? They just come out and they're like, oh, you know, for Palestine and for like, I don't think the Palestinians would deal with these people very well. Honestly, right? Just saying, right? But you know, fuck it, right? Like, who cares?
Communists, we demand free and equal access to housing, healthcare, education, and guaranteed employment for all.
Yeah, so communism, basically. Another super chat from Texas Man. For $5. What's the problem with trains? Trains is hard job, mate. Trains is hard job. Are there trans on the trains? Is it trains trans? Is it are the trannies training? Questions. It's a very important question, I think, for everyone. Right, we got more of these fucking retards. Yeah.
One struggle, one fight, Palestine trans rights. One struggle, one fight. 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 Palestine trans rights.
Yeah. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck does trans rights have to do with fucking Palestine? Oh, look, you just don't think about it, mate. Don't think about it too hard. Livia Drusilla, they would not last an hour in Gaza. Well, that is absolutely true. Livia, I just imagine them all sort of picking over the rubble and fucking, like, you know, dodging Israeli snipers. Fucking, bruh. Oh, we got another super chat. Texas Man for $3. I thought the left liked public transportation. Well, they do like public transportation. They want to portate the trans everywhere, mate. And use the eunuch again for $3. Guaranteed employment for all. These at the end. It was always communism with these demons. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. It is. It's you know, I think the fundamental denial of reality is sort of crucial to this entire project. Thank you very much, guys.
London MCC.
Oh yeah, this is fucking crazy, right? This is like, if anyone ever asks you what bio-Leninism is, right? Just play them this, right? This is the most bio-Leninist thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Maybe. It's definitely up there in the top 5.
Hi everyone, I am a very proud disabled trans woman, even though it doesn't look like it. I am ashamed of what the underground people do. I was misgendered, and they said they had.
I was misgendered. He's talking about Transport for London, right? When he says the underground people, he doesn't literally mean like the chuds living in the sewers. Oh yeah, I know. This is so fucking sad.
To misgender me, even when I complained, saying, "Look, I am not a man," they continued to misgender me. Absolute shocking. TFL, shame on you. The National Health Service, shame on you. You have not letting me have my right to be in the right ward because you don't care that I am a trans sibling, proud disabled trans sibling in the same ward I want to be on. They won't let me it. So National Health Service, shame on you. Thank you.
Bruh. Oh my god. Oh, dude. I mean, I don't want to be too cruel. The guy's like, obviously, like, I don't know, is it a guy? Is you know, right? Like they, they, them. Fuck hell, mate. Right. Oh, we got another super chat from Texas Man. Is that Cartman from South Park? No, I think Cartman is better spoken. Except maybe, you know, it's Cartman if he's like pretending to be retarded or something like that. Streaky Bacon, good to see you, mucker. How you doing, mate? Yes. Wait. We got the entry. Thank you, Sades. Yes. What else have we got? I'll just play a couple of minutes of this. This again sort of underlines the whole, you know, communism thing.
Our first speaker that we've got is Charlotte, stood behind me, from RS21.
Hello. My name's Charlotte. I'm a member of RS21. We're a socialist organisation. We're one of the organisations that organised this protest. And I'm a trans woman, and I'm angry!
Yeah, well, I'd be angry if I was you as well, mate. I'm angry, really. What a fucking surprise. Wow, that's really, I mean, you know, because if there's one thing you can say about the trans community generally, it's their sort of like, you know, generally sort of serene demeanor, you know, that put the Buddha Siddhartha to shame, you know what I mean, right? They always approach life with a sense of equanimity and just, you know, oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm angry that they think they can keep us down. I'm angry that the transphobes are celebrating. I'm angry that the police have leapt on this moment to introduce transphobic policies, and that the EHRC is suggesting that we can't use toilets, and that the NHS and other services will likely be rowing back on trans inclusion. Shame! I'm angry that trans kids and adults are going to be feeling suicidal because of this, because they have no hope.
Yeah, don't care about everyone else in society feeling suicidal, like having to fucking deal with all this bullshit. No one gives a fuck, right? Like, if all of this shit is impacting the wider mental health of society, no, we must care about the trans. They are the special protected group. We got another NGP. Texas Man. $3. Is that you, Mr. Fizz? That is not, well, look, Texas Man, I don't know how you managed to rumble me. It's true. That is actually me. I gaslight, sort of, you know, I have a double life as a trans activist. You know what I mean, right? I just, you know, I had to like do a bit of face changing and get my hair, right? Thank you very much, Texas Man.
I'm angry that people will not want to leave the house and will not want to be themselves because of this ruling.
You mean literally how like everyone else feels all the fucking time? Okay. I'm glad you can, you know, you're not scared to leave the house or anything.
I'm angry that so much energy is being put into putting down one of the most marginalized sections of the population instead of building structures that could help people.
Oh, fuck off. How are you fucking marginalized? You got the entire fucking, like, state behind you at every bloody turn. Oh, God.
If all that energy and all that money went into real feminist organizing, fighting against the gender pay gap, against austerity, for women's shelters.
Oh, fuck off. What else have we got? The trans will not give up, bros. They are going to invade bathrooms and make TikToks.
Where I do my business is none of your fucking business. Where I do my business is none of your business.
Where I do my business is none of your business.
Where we do our business is none of your business. Where we do our business is none of your fucking business.
Where I do my business is none of your business.
Our biological sex does not decide what toilets we use, our brain does. Let adults decide what toilets to fucking go in. Where we do our business is none of your fucking business!
So stunning. So brave. Oh my God. However, look, it must be noted that there is absolutely no reason why these people cannot be a part of society.
Today, being retarded means leading a full life,
Retarded people go to work or school just like their neighbors and come back to a real home, a supervised home, right in the neighborhood where they belong. Being retarded never stopped anyone from being a good neighbor.
So there you go, bros. There you go, right? Like, you know, positive message. Oh yeah, they also defaced like a bunch of statues. It'll be fine though, right? And they've been like following people around. Just to give you an idea of how the two-tier policing works. This is a journalist from Resistance GB, friend of the channel. Basically just being harassed by these people. The cops won't do shit.
Sorry, excuse me, can you see these people following me right now? They've been following me since all the way around there, and they keep calling me a fascist. I'm just trying to do consensual interviews.
They keep calling you a fascist? Is it because you're a fascist?
What makes me a fascist? Please tell me, I'd love to know. And they went, that's what keeps happening.
What are they threatening to do to you?
They're trying to punch me if I'm a fascist, and I have it on camera.
Okay, if you're a fascist. Okay, so anything like that, where there's a condition on it, it's not an offence. Okay?
But then they're following me around, calling me a fascist, and I'm asking them what I've done that makes me a fascist.
Can I suggest?
And then they can't answer.
Can I suggest that you remove yourself from the situation around them? Okay, we'll speak to them, not let them necessarily engage.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine. Although, can I just note
so
one thing?
we can't do anything to stop them putting placards and things in front of your camera, trying to record stuff, and potentially ruining.
No, them recording and whatever is fine. But I've moved all the way from over there on top of that hill, climbed over 2 fences to get here, and they've followed me the whole way, calling me a fascist. And I'm trying to do interviews with other people, trying to ignore them, and then they're coming up to me and putting placards in my face and telling other people that I'm a fascist.
To put placards up and right for you, okay? But anyway, if you remove yourself from the situation.
Even though I've tried to remove myself from the situation.
Right, let's go.
Right, I guess I'm keeping my entourage.
Yeah. Women's rights. Unless you're a fascist, in which case, Anyway, our final story of the night. The ghost of COVID hangs long over society. This is fucking crazy, right? COVID.gov now redirects to this White House site, basically BTFOing the entire COVID narrative. The White House has now officially said that COVID was a lab leak. I mean, 5 years too late, but, whatever. It came from Wuhan. It came from Wuhan. So this is crazy, basically, right? Not only talks about gain of function research, talks about Dr. Peter Daszak and the EcoHealth Alliance. It's a funny thing, right? Released in China, made by America, right? Truly the globalization of bioweapons research, right? Talks about Fauci, right? They haven't done anything to him yet, but, we will see. Just to take a little trip down memory lane for all of you. This is from NPR, December 30, 2020. Oh, it seems such a long time ago, bros. Even if it's bonkers, poll finds that many believe QAnon and other conspiracy theories. Oh no, bros. Oh no. Now this kind of shit was all over the internet, right? Ratfun King, will this warrant a change in the intro? This is now a win. I don't know. Lomax has not been seen for ages. I would like to change up some stuff, but it's hard to get a hold of him. 40% of respondents believe the coronavirus was made in a lab in China, even though there is no evidence for this, bros. Like, why don't people trust journalists anymore? This is why. Shit like this is why, right? 1/3 of Americans believe that voter fraud helped Joe Biden win 2020, right? But there's no evidence of that either. Right? The poll results add to mounting evidence that misinformation is gaining a foothold in American society and that conspiracy theories are going mainstream, especially during the coronavirus pandemic. This has raised concerns about how to get people to believe in a baseline reality. Oh, super chat. From MK, $5. Thank you for the show. Oh, thank you very, very much, MK. I really appreciate that. Wait, where's the... 2 more weeks and a dancing girl. Thanks very much, MK. I hope you're doing all right, mate. So this was a poll in 2020, like identifying misinformation, all of this like kind of like stuff. Look at look at the misinformation bros that people believe in. The majority of protests that occurred in 2020 were violent. Surely not. COVID-19 was created in a lab of China. Misinformation. A group of Satan-worshipping elites who run a child sex ring are trying to control our politics and media. Oh my God, bros. That can't possibly be true. Humans do not play a significant role in climate change. Oh my God, that people are saying it. Look, this is an incorrect statement. It says it on the website. Several mass shootings in recent years were staged hoaxes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Correct statements. Vaccines do not cause autism. Humans landed on the moon. The September 11 attack. It's interesting, like what they pick, right? It's terrible. It's terrible. And leading on from this, of course, as I was saying in the opener, the WHO has now agreed on the legally binding pandemic treaty. Who's ready for another pandemic, bros? Woo! Yay! Wait, where's my confetti? Woo! Another pandemic. For fuck's sake. I'm fucking so sick of this bullshit. Yes, the pandemic treaty has been floating around like either a live grenade or, some kind of like floater or something like that, and has now emerged with a corrupting stench. Members of the WHO have agreed the text of a legally binding treaty designed to better tackle future pandemics. Yeah, that's totally what it's about, bros. Like, it's not like to introduce like global Marxism in time for 2030. No. No, come on. That's a conspiracy theory, bros. And as we know, conspiracy theories have never, ever come true, right? For fuck's sake. It's meant to avoid the disorganization and competition for resources seen during the COVID-19 outbreak. It doesn't say anything about like the, just terrible decisions made or anything like that. For the first time, the WHO itself will also have an overview of global supply chain. I mean, this is the BBC, right? Obviously, right? So they're like, oh, it's totally a great thing. This is the second IHR, or International Health Regulation. The first one being on tobacco, right? So, that's what you get. Oh, we want to ban smoking. You get global Marxism, right? Just let people do their thing. Right? Like, I just wanted to make a better world. Yeah, well, you got fucking global Marxism, right? So maybe you should have taken your urge to make a better world and shove it up your ass, right? Can we just have like a competent world, right? That's like, mostly fine. Another super chat from Texas man. Mr. Fist loves the BBC. I do. How would I know what to think if not for the BBC? Right? You got to understand. Thank you very much, Texas man. It still needs to be formally adopted by members when they meet for the World Health Assembly next month. Spoiler alert, it's absolutely going to be adopted, right? Except, of course, for the US, right? Although, of course, as soon as the Democrats get back into power, whenever that happens to be, they will immediately adopt it. Right? And they're also going to like change a bunch of stuff once it's in. That's the way these things go. They just get the agreement in, and then they just start slotting more stuff in. This is the way it goes. Now, of course, Ursula von der Leyen is very, very happy. Look at that. Oh, EU flags. And of course, if von der Leyen is happy, everybody else is sad. That's how it goes. Oh, what the fuck is this? Right. Now, this is an excellent thread from Escape Key. I would highly recommend, if you're on Twitter, following this guy. He does like the sort of like best breakdown of the sort of rationale behind sort of international Marxism that I've seen. Would highly, highly recommend. Chronically undersubscribed. So, this is basically his summary of what is going on. So he calls this cloaked in care. So the first step, identify a systemic crisis or moral failing, or create one if one does not exist. Because COVID-19 is framed as a global health equity failure, all of their bullshit is justified. Then reframe this systemic crisis as technical, borderless, and urgent. which then, of course, means that you need to reframe it as a global systems problem, and then you need an international treaty in order to combat it. See how this works? Then design systems-based interventions governed by the WHO and some kind of international multilateral group. Create mediating institutions, right? So, you have like groups that take the diktat of the WHO and provide them to various countries. Wrap in moral and effective legitimacy using language of solidarity, equity, and planetary health. Individual dissent is reframed as unethical risk. 6, deploy soft law and infrastructure. You don't have direct national compulsion, but access to pathogen material, vaccines, and funding is now tied to WHO compliance. So it's the whole ESG trick again, basically, right? Ratchet up by a crisis, so there will have to be some kind of new initiating crisis. I can't wait. Oh, what's the next one going to be, bros? Oh, me. Can't wait. So, you need like risks to keep it alive. And I should note, by the way, that the new draft of the pandemic treaty is permanent. It does not, the old one only existed when there was a pandemic, but the new one is live all the time, right? It's all pandemic all the time. So maybe they won't even need a proper initiating crisis, right? And then crystallize into hard law with renewal. The treaty's annexes and protocols are binding by default unless rejected. Embedded review mechanisms ensure ongoing ratcheting, right? So there's a review process, which means that they can continue to move it more towards the goal of global Marxism. I hope you are all totally like waiting for that. Now, there has been some awareness of this. This is from the Telegraph. UK in race to opt out of WHO lockdown powers. MPs and peers urge the government to exercise the right to ignore amendments to regulation before the July deadline. Bros, I'm having a psychic fit. I'm seeing into the future. They won't do shit, right? This definitely, the government absolutely will not reject those amendments. Britain has weeks to escape new powers, allowing the World Health Organization to recommend imposing lockdowns in future pandemics, a group of MPs and peers has warned. The UK must opt out of the WHO's new international health regulations by July 19th to avoid the bodies coordinating the response to any future COVID-style pandemic. Or literally anything, right? Like, the way the treaty is framed, right, is that it's global health crisis, right? Racism could be a global health crisis. Fucking the climate could be a global health crisis, right? Like, literally anything, right, could be a global health crisis, right? I wait with bated breath to see, like, what they're going to use as the triggering event for this. In a letter to the Foreign Office, 14 leading parliamentarians urged the government to exercise Britain's right to ignore amendments to the regulations before the looming deadline. Yeah, 14 leading parliamentarians. That's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Critics have warned they give too much power to WHO and risk undermining individual countries' right to manage their own affairs. Yeah, that's literally what the Fabians want, though. So why would they not want that? Government spokesman told the Telegraph that no decision has yet been made on which of the amendments were in the national interest. In other words, they're not going to do shit, right? Suella Braverman is out against this. I don't think this is going to have any effect, but, she wrote that what the British public sees, what they intuit, is not just bureaucratic overreach, but a creeping usurpation of their democratic rights. Well, correct. They voted to leave the European Union precisely because they were tired of decisions being made by people they could not name and they could not remove. The WHO, as it currently stands, is another iteration of the same problem. However, a WHO spokesman said the body does not have the right or ability to take any decision concerning health within a sovereign state. Yeah, right. They just have the ability to very, very heavily pressure governments. Such authority will and always remain with the countries themselves and the political leaders that we have handpicked in order to usher in global Marxism. These recommendations are always based on advice provided by an emergency committee of international experts. Oh, well, hey, if they're international experts, I absolutely trust what they say. When has an international expert ever done anything wrong, bros? The goal is to prevent or reduce the international spread of disease and avoid unnecessary interference with international trade and travel, which implies, of course, that there is necessary interference, right? Fuck's sake. So this is Braverman. Conservative MPs Danny Kruger, Sir Ian Duncan-Smith, Esther McVeigh, and Jack Rankin. Labour's Graham Stringer, the DUP's Sammy Wilson, and Rupert Lowe, the former UK MP, who have sided along with Lord Frost, the Tory peer and former chief Brexit negotiator. So that is quite a heavy-hitting team. They warned that it would be premature and preemptive for the UK to agree to a new pandemic-related regulations before the conclusions of the COVID inquiry, which is basically going to discover that the government did nothing wrong. Surprise, surprise. They're also saying that the package could amount to a breach of international law. Yes, well, there's international law and there's international law, right? We must absolutely uphold international law, but international law is like, look, if you are confused about this concept, right? Just look at the Iraq War or the Israel-Palestine War, or any of the wars that were against international law, but not against international law, right? Right. So yeah, the US has pulled out. Look, I guess we'll see. I highly doubt there's going to be any serious pushback against this. We will see. Anyway, you're all caught up now. You know what time it is. It's time for some cringe, bros. Yes, I know we've already had quite a bit of cringe tonight, but look, I had to cover the tranny-apocalypse? The trans-apocalypse. Right. These videos just keep... This is honestly worse than the lockdown, right? The way they're just going around, like, arresting people for saying stuff, right? You thought the lockdown was bad. This is actually worse.
7. Right, you're under arrest for racially aggravated unless you're next, okay? You don't have to say anything, but it may have an offence if you're not mentioned, one question, something which may allow later on in court. Anything you say may be given evidence. Do you understand? I'm aggravated what? Malicious communication. Aggravated malicious communication awards. Twitter, X.
That'll be explained to you. Okay, alright.
Right, the necessity for this arrest is prompt effective investigation and prevent disappearance.
Okay, mate.
Do you understand?
We're just going to go to the van now, okay?
Joe, do you want me to tell Jay to meet you in the police station? What?
I'll take the van.
Pathetic. All over the social media posts. Get a fucking real job, you pricks.
7.
Oh no, you don't understand. That is their real job. Their real job is as political enforcers. That is their sole and total job. Fuck me. So this is Paula White, who is allegedly Donald Trump's spiritual advisor. Here she is talking with Benjamin Netanyahu. Goes about how you would expect, bros. Wait, let me turn this up.
I took my children and my grandchildren right before the horrific October 7th attack. And we embedded ourselves, a good friend was having a bar mitzvah, we embedded ourselves within the Orthodox community and had Shabbat together and ate together and fellowship together, studied the Torah together, went all over Israel. And it was one of the most memorable, best times that we have had as a family. And so we are so grateful. I encourage Christians all over the world, you must make your journey to Israel.
Listen to Paula.
I say it will be the best.
We will welcome you. In Jerusalem and Nazareth and the Sea of Galilee and all the places that you hear about, they're not somewhere remote. They're real places. They're actually very close to each other. So you can actually see where the Bible happened. You can actually see where it happened. And there are remnants too. I mean, there are churches. There's a church right in the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus preached.
Oh, yeah.
In Capernaum. It's there, it's standing there. You can stand exactly where Jesus stood. You can walk in the footsteps of Jesus.
See, I'll just start
and the
going.
Hebrew kings.
The Pilgrim's Path.
And everywhere. And the prophets, all the prophets that you know, Jeremiah, Isaiah, you know.
It's so life transforming. I love going up to Shiloh this past time where Hannah prayed and just meditating there and seeing just the richness of the Bible in its entirety. it makes everything make sense. And now the archaeological things that have been discovered and the findings that are still happening really give people such an education that I'll be honest, they will not get over here in America at 30 minutes in a church or an hour to church service. They certainly won't get it in the universities over here.
Well,
it's almost, I say as a Christian, it should be mandated to go to Israel before you get to heaven. I'm so with you.
No, fuck off. Look, the thing that just gets me, right, is look at fucking Netanyahu's face, mate, right? Like, just how can anyone look at that guy and not see, like, what an evil motherfucker he is? Just that, so he's got this smile, like, yeah, dance for me. Dance for me. Oh, my God. So, yes, you've heard it straight from Paula White's mouth. In order for a Christian to get into heaven, you must go to Israel first. Heresy detected. Brother, get the flamer, the heavy flamer. We got one more piece of trans cringe. Enjoy.
In the same way that Hitler reduced people to the Aryan race, he only liked those with blue eyes and blonde hair. He did not tolerate anything else. Just like these women who brought the case, they do not tolerate anyone that differs from their interpretation of what a woman is. In the same way.
Yep. Yeah, it's Hitler, bros. Right? That's why people have a problem with the trans. Got a bit of America now. It's doing great, bros. Why not take your holiday in Chicago? Okay, that seems retarded, but you know, fucking hell, mate. Fuck this dude.
On butt plugs, and I said that I think that in high school groups where unfortunately we know that students are having sex, and that I think that safe sex is always important, safe sex practices are always important, and that is a type of, that's queer sex, so that's not heteronormative sex, and then you called it disgusting. So you told me that the sex that my counterparts have is disgusting, and I don't see how that is not openly homophobic.
The reality is it's not openly homophobic because that means that you think...
To call queer sex disgusting? You don't think that's homophobic?
That means that you think that only homosexual couples use butt plugs.
No, they absolutely don't.
Heterosexual couples use butt plugs as well.
So do you think that just butt plugs in general are disgusting?
And so I'm saying that teaching children, minors, about this is disgusting.
Right, so I guess that comes into abstinence-only education versus safe-sex education.
No, it's not abstinence only. It's not safe sex. At the end of the day, a butt plug is not going to create a child. It's not going to have an issue on a person that relates to catching an STD unless the actual butt plug is not properly sanitized.
Exactly, and I think that's what that book was detailing, is how to safely use those instruments.
We don't need to educate children on how to use butt plugs. Children, if you're an adult and that is what you want to do, if that's what stimulates you and gets you off, have at it.
Sexy time.
Are you a parent?
I'm not a parent.
Oh, so you're not a parent. Okay. And you are a parent?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What the hell is even that?
And so, as a father, 2 boys and a girl, I don't want anyone teaching my child how to use sex toys of any kind. That is
fascism, bros. Fascism is not wanting your kids to be taught about butt plugs. Fucking hell. You may get this kind of reaction after like watching all this stuff. I ripped a bunch of these from Texas Man's channel, USDA Prime Memes. Highly recommended. One of the best meme channels on Telegram. Go check it out.
Done.
No, that's a bad day, bro. That's a bad day. Oh yeah, but this is quite funny. Happy 420 as well to all you degenerate weed smokers. You know, I was actually in Hyde Park on Sunday when they had the 420 thing. I was there for Speaker's Corner, but oh my god, it was mate, it just the whole place like stank.
Yes.
Nothing. I mean, it's 420, but I don't smoke any weed.
What is it you were smoking? There's nothing even in here, it's just water. What was all the smoke coming out of your car?
Oh, that was just for effect. That's a smoke machine.
What smoke machine?
Oh, just the one in the back seat.
So this is like a joke? Is that why you're dressed like that?
You don't like the fit?
So if you're not under the influence, are we going to have any other issues tonight?
I'd hope not.
Please don't sit in front of the police department and drink non-alcoholic beer. It's just silly.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Do you want to hit before I go?
Don't be silly. Please leave.
Oh, trolling. Oh my god. Oh, where is that? San Luis Obispo, right? So, atheist BTFO'd bros. With the power of Jesus, anything is possible, including that sick grind, bros. Yeah, this is good as well. Just a bunch of kids without mobile phones living in the moment, bros. Living in the moment. Oh, God. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, this is funny.
Wrong, apart from the Second World War. War is wrong, apart from the Second World War. War. Fighting fascism, wasn't it? That's fair enough. Justified, yeah. War is wrong. War is wrong, apart from the Second World War. War is wrong, apart from the Second World War. War. Fighting fascism, wasn't it? That's fair enough. Justified, yeah. War is wrong, apart from the Second World War. War is wrong, apart from the Second World War and the Spanish Civil War. Yeah, well, that was fighting the dictatorship. War is wrong, apart from the Second World War and the Spanish Civil War. War is wrong, apart from the Second World War and the Spanish Civil War and the Crimean War. In fact, there was the 100-Year War as well, wasn't there? In fact, come here, I've got an idea. Kill, 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 kill.
Well, you know, at least they're trying to be honest. A bit of Garen music for you all.
Right, you fuckers, I'm reviewing your Easter dinners. First things first, what the fuck is this? I believe this is a potato gratin, very fancy. I'm sure it tasted lovely, but it looks like a cross-section of one of my arteries after a few Easter eggs. Also, why the fuck have you put milk in your vegetables? 8 out of 10. If you can't go to the hospital this Easter, why not bring the taste of the hospital to your own home? Okay, this does look depressing, but let's try and find the positives. Are these fucking roast potatoes? Because I'm seeing no evidence of the roasting process. Sunbeds are extremely dangerous. I don't recommend them to anybody, but these potatoes could do with a few sessions. The best thing about this is the lighting. I can tell just by looking at this that it's pissing rain outside. You've opened up your curtains in a depressing attempt to try and bring in some natural light. 8 out of 10. This actually looks very nice. Oh, we're going watching a bit of telly this evening, are we? The entertainment system is in full force. This is going to be a night to remember. 10 out of fucking 10. She's feeling a bit oriental this Easter Sunday. Oh fuck, I just noticed there's been an incident. I like to colour outside the lines with my portion sizes as well, respect. That being said, what the fuck is this? Everything has been mashed. 10 out of 10. Why does this look like a photo of a relative who died in the 80s? This looks pretty good, but I have to ask, where are you planning on spreading the potatoes' ashes? Excellent submissions, 10 out of 10. Follow me, I'm delicious.
Right. This is good.
About to join the Mile High Club.
Help
Help me! Help me! Land the plane!
Hey, we are still on the ground, asshole!
Sit down, sir. Sit down. It was only CBD. Relax.
That was CBD?
Right. Cute animal videos. Enjoy. What else we got?
Jackie. What did you do? Is this you, mate? Hmm?
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, this is cute.
I'll follow you into the park, through the jungle, through the dark.
Aw, cute squirrels. What else we got? Oh, this is adorable. What you doing with all that salmon, huh? No particular reason. Just, you know, just looking. Unexpected cat. I don't know, like, why the music cut out there. That was weird. I don't know what this kitty is doing, but it's very, very wholesome. And our final cute animal video of the night. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'll be on Discord and Dragons tonight in about an hour and 45 minutes. Hope you can join us. Let's say a quick goodbye to everyone in the chat. On Rumble, Wyatt's Torch, Kajit has wares if you have coin. Yeah, exactly. Seti Sapiente, Argent Party, Livia Drusilla, Calvos96, Patriots Flow. Good to see you, Patriots. Jay Chiva Loophole, Rat Fun King. Who else we got? Sure, we've got some more people in here. No, I think that's everybody. Texas Man, of course. Some guy from Maine. Good to see you, mate. Thank you very much for the super chats, Texas Man. Very, very much appreciated. Who else we got? I think that's everyone. Fox39 Forever. Good to see you, Fox. Anybody else? Mark Suze. Good to see you too, mate. I think that's everybody. On YouTube, we have Linda Hunter, Simon JJ, Ardent Party, and Yiz again. Streaky Bacon, good to see you, Streaky. Anti-Whiteism ends with you, good to see you, mate. Cyberchat Internal Affairs, LLL, Robert Verlinden, Otto Stormhart, Budgie Burger. Let me see, anybody else? Stumbling. I think that's everybody. And on Odyssey, we have MK. Thanks for coming, MK, and appreciate the super chat. Wait, who else gave super chats that I should give thanks to? And Stumbling. Thank you very much, Stumbling, and Texas Man and Yiz for the super chats. I will make sure to put them towards expensive coffee to fuel my show creation. I'll see you all on Discord and Dragons. Otherwise, on Thursday night, have an excellent week, bros. Good night.